Have you ever wondered why some people live to be 100, still smiling, still active, and still walking to the market on their own? Why is it that growing old doesn't necessarily mean growing weak in certain parts of the world? Could the secret to a longer, healthier life be right on your plate? In today's video, we'll explore the powerful yet simple foods and lifestyle habits that scientists and long-living communities worldwide swear by. At the end, I'll share a few personal insights from Dr. Shigaki Hinohara, Japan's most beloved doctor, who lived to the age of 105, along with the surprisingly simple meals that helped keep him vibrant through his later years. So, grab a cup of tea and settle in, because this might just be the conversation that changes the way you eat and age. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you've already started doing to care for your health as you get older? Maybe it's switching to whole grains, cutting back on sugar, or even starting a morning walk routine. Whatever it is, share it in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else to watch this video right now. If you find this topic meaningful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to Health Revival, and sharing it with someone you care about. The more we talk about living well, not just longer, the more we help each other along the way. Now, let's talk about the truth behind longevity and why diet matters more than genetics. When discussing how to live a long life, it's easy to assume that genetics are the most important factor. After all, if your parents lived into their 90s, doesn't that mean you've got a good shot too? Well, yes and no. Science shows that only about 20 to 30% of our longevity is determined by genetics. The remaining 70 to 80% is due to lifestyle choices. This means that what you eat, how you move, how you handle stress, and even how connected you are to others play a much larger role in how long and well you live. And the great news is that, unlike your genes, your daily choices are something you have control over starting today. Here's an example. In the United States, many people assume that getting older automatically means developing high blood pressure, diabetes, or joint problems. These are often seen as inevitable parts of aging. But when you look at places like Okinawa, Japan, or Sardinia, Italy, regions known as blue zones, where people frequently live past 100, you'll notice something striking. Chronic diseases are not inevitable there. These people stay active well into their 80s and 90s. They walk everywhere, garden, and rarely end up in nursing homes. More importantly, they enjoy life. So, what's different? Their diets are filled with natural, unprocessed foods. They eat mostly plants, enjoy meals made from scratch, and keep their portions modest, stopping when they're about 80% full, a habit the Okinawans call harachibu. The takeaway here is that longevity isn't just about adding more years to your life, but about adding more life to your years. And one of the most powerful tools you have is your fork. The good news is that you don't need to overhaul everything overnight. Even small changes over time can make a significant difference. So, where do you begin? One of the easiest and most powerful places to start when aiming to improve your health is with what's green. Let's dive into one of the simplest yet most affordable superfoods that could completely change the way you feel: leafy greens. Blue Zone secrets: what we can learn from the longest living people. Imagine waking up in your 90s, walking to the local market, carrying your groceries, and still feeling strong enough to join your neighbors for a chat over lunch. In places known as blue zones, this isn't a rare dream, it's a reality. The term blue zones was coined by National Geographic researcher Dan Buettner, who studied regions around the world with unusually high numbers of centenarians, people who live to 100 and beyond with grace, vitality, and independence. So, where are these blue zones? They include Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Ikaria, Greece, the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, and Loma Linda, California. Yes, even in the US. While these areas are oceans apart, the people there share many things in common. And no, it's not secret pills or miracle vitamins. So, what's their secret? Let's break it down. Mostly plant-based diets. People in blue zones eat a lot of vegetables, legumes like beans and lentils, whole grains, nuts, and fruits. Meat is consumed sparingly, more like a side dish than the main event. Natural movement. They don't hit the gym, they live in environments that encourage movement. Gardening, walking, tending to animals, and climbing hills are part of their daily lives. strong social ties. Whether through close family, a tight-knit village, or a faith-based community, these folks belong. They are never truly alone. Purpose, ikigai. In Okinawa, for example, they have a reason to get up every morning. Whether it's caring for grandchildren, growing food, or contributing to their community, they feel needed. Stress reduction. They know how to slow down. Whether through naps, prayer, or a cup of tea with friends, these activities help them release daily tension. Let's take Korea, Greece, as an example. People there often live into their 90s not just alive, but thriving. They eat homemade meals like wild greens, chickpeas, and olive oil. They take afternoon naps, dance at community gatherings, and live in multi-generational homes where elders are respected and loved. Now, compare that to the typical Western lifestyle. Fast food, long hours, time spent alone in front of screens, rushing from one task to the next, often eating while standing. It's easy to see why we might age faster not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Here's the powerful lesson: longevity isn't just about what you eat. It's about how you live. The beautiful thing is that you don't have to move to a blue zone to benefit from these habits. You can create your own blue zone lifestyle right where you are. Start by cooking more often, inviting someone over, sharing a laugh, and going for a gentle walk in nature. These small shifts, done consistently, can add years to your life and life to your years. Now, speaking of small but mighty changes, let's take a closer look at a group of humble vegetables that could be the true heroes of healthy aging. Up next, leafy greens and why they might be the most underrated superfood on your plate. Leafy greens, the anti-aging superfood you're probably underrating. If there's one straightforward food group that shows up repeatedly in the diets of the world's longest living people, it's leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, arugula, mustard greens, you name it. These humble leaves might not look fancy, but they are powerhouses of nutrition, especially for those over 50. So, what makes leafy greens so special? For starters, they're incredibly. Leafy greens are nutrient-dense, meaning you get a lot of vitamins and minerals for very few calories. They are packed with vitamin A, which supports your immune system and promotes healthy eyes, vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that aids in skin and tissue repair, and vitamin K, which plays a crucial role in bone strength and blood clotting. And then there's fiber, a nutrient most people don't get enough of. Fiber keeps your digestion moving, supports a healthy gut, and helps regulate blood sugar and cholesterol levels. All of these benefits are essential for avoiding chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and even certain types of cancer. Leafy greens also contain phytonutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are particularly helpful in protecting aging eyes from conditions such as macular degeneration. But perhaps the best part is that you don't need to completely overhaul your diet to enjoy the benefits. Adding just one serving a day, like a handful of spinach in your morning eggs or a side salad with dinner, can make a noticeable difference over time. If raw salads aren't your thing, no worries. You can lightly sauté greens with olive oil and garlic, stir them into soups, blend them into smoothies, or mix them into casseroles. The key is just to start somewhere. Here's a little reminder: eating leafy greens isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent. A few bites each day may seem small, but they build the foundation for better health and a longer life as the years go by. Next, let's discuss one of the oldest food preservation techniques that's making a huge comeback: fermented foods, and how they can help your gut, mood, and immune system thrive. The power of fermented foods: heal your gut, boost your mind. If you've ever enjoyed a bowl of yogurt, a spoonful of kimchi, or even a sip of kombucha, then you've already tasted one of the world's oldest health secrets: fermented foods. Fermentation is a natural process where beneficial bacteria, often called probiotics, break down sugars and starches in food. While that might sound like a science experiment, the result is a compelling health benefit, especially as you age. Why does it matter? It all starts with your gut. Inside your digestive system lives a community of trillions of microbes, known as your gut microbiome. These tiny organisms help you digest food, absorb nutrients, regulate inflammation, and protect you from harmful bacteria. When your gut is balanced and healthy, your whole body benefits. But when it's out of balance, often due to processed foods, antibiotics, or stress, you may experience surprising symptoms like bloating, fatigue, poor sleep, and even a low mood. That's where fermented foods come in. Foods like plain yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, miso, and tempeh are naturally rich in probiotics, which help restore balance to your gut. These friendly bacteria boost digestion, support immunity, and may even lift your mood thanks to the gut-brain connection. Yes, your gut and brain are deeply connected. Scientists call it the gut-brain axis, and growing research shows that a healthy gut microbiome can reduce anxiety, improve memory, and enhance overall mental clarity. Here's a small reminder: a little goes a long way. Just a few tablespoons of sauerkraut or a cup of kefir a few times a week can make a real difference. If you're new to fermented foods, start slow and let your body adjust. Choose options without added sugars or artificial flavors. Feeling good on the inside can transform how you feel on the outside. And speaking of feeling good, let's talk about something that powers your energy throughout the day and protects your heart with every bite: whole grains. Whole grains versus refined carbs. The choice that could add years. Let's talk about something many of us eat daily but don't always think much about: grains. They show up in our toast, cereal, pasta, and snacks. But here's the thing: not all grains are created equal. The difference between whole grains and refined carbs might seem small at first glance, but when it comes to your health and longevity, it's a big deal. Whole grains like brown rice, oats, quinoa, barley, and whole wheat still contain all three parts of the grain: the bran, germ, and endosperm. This means they keep their natural fiber, vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds intact. Refined grains, on the other hand, such as white bread, white rice, and regular pasta, have had the bran and germ removed during processing. This strips away most of the fiber and nutrients, leaving behind mostly starch. Why does this matter? Because fiber is your friend. It keeps your digestion moving, helps control blood sugar, lowers cholesterol, and even helps you feel full longer, which can prevent overeating. Studies show that people who eat more whole grains have a lower risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and certain cancers. Let's make this practical. Instead of a bowl of sugary cereal, try steel-cut oats with fruit and nuts. Swap white rice for brown or wild rice. Use whole wheat pasta or try ancient grains like farro or bulgur in salads. Even small swaps, made consistently, can lead to significant changes over time. And don't worry about being perfect. You don't have to ditch every white grain overnight. Just think about where you can upgrade a little here and there. Here's the gentle truth: the more whole your food is, the more whole you feel. While whole grains give your body steady energy and deep nourishment, there's another ingredient that ties many longevity diets together, not just for its flavor, but for its healing power. Next, let's talk about olive oil and why this golden fat might be the secret to a healthier heart and sharper mind. Olive oil magic. More than just a heart-healthy fat. If there's one ingredient that repeatedly appears in the kitchens of people who live the longest, it's this golden treasure: olive oil. You'll find it drizzled over salads in Sardinia, simmered in stews in Ikaria, and used as a finishing touch on almost every meal in the Mediterranean. But olive oil isn't just about flavor, it's about function. So, why is olive oil so powerful? For starters, it's packed with monounsaturated fats, the kind that helps lower bad cholesterol, LDL, and raise the good kind, HDL. This makes it an incredible ally for your heart, helping reduce the risk of heart attacks and strokes. But olive oil does more than protect your arteries. It's also rich in polyphenol, natural plant compounds that fight inflammation and oxidative stress, two of the biggest drivers of aging and chronic disease. Think of polyphenol as little warriors, protecting your cells and keeping your body youthful and sharp. There's more research shows that regular olive oil consumption may protect the brain. Diets high in olive oil, like the Mediterranean diet, have been linked to a lower risk of Alzheimer's and age-related cognitive decline. Those same antioxidants that help your heart also support memory, focus, and mental clarity. Here's a real-life tip: choose extra virgin olive oil. It's the least processed and retains the most antioxidants. Look for bottles in dark glass, stored away from heat and light. Use it generously, but don't fry with it at high heat. It's best used raw or for light sautéing. Try it over roasted vegetables, in salad dressings, or even like Dr. Shigaki Hinohara did, mixed into a little orange juice each morning. He swore by it for heart health and youthful skin well into his hundreds. So, the next time you reach for oil, remember, this small choice can ripple through your heart, mind, and future. And speaking of small but mighty, let's talk about some of the tiniest foods on Earth that carry some of the most significant benefits for longevity. Nuts and seeds, small foods with huge longevity benefits. Sometimes, the most minor things make the biggest difference, and that's certainly true of nuts and seeds. These tiny powerhouses are loaded with nutrients and are deeply connected to long-term health and vitality. If you're looking for a simple snack that supports your heart, brain, and bones, look no further than a handful of almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, or pumpkin seeds. So, what makes these little guys so special? First, let's talk about nuts and seeds, which are small foods with huge longevity benefits. They're packed with healthy fats, especially omega-3s and monounsaturated fats, which help reduce inflammation and protect your heart. Walnuts, in particular, are known for supporting brain health, while almonds and sunflower seeds are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that supports your skin and immune system. They're also packed with plant-based protein, which helps you maintain muscle mass, a crucial factor as we age. And don't forget the fiber, which aids digestion, balances blood sugar, and keeps you feeling full longer. Studies have shown that people who regularly eat nuts and seeds have a lower risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and even certain cancers. Just one small daily serving can make a meaningful impact over time. However, here's something to keep in mind: more isn't always better. Since they're calorie-dense, it's best to enjoy nuts and seeds in moderation. Think of a small handful per day, about 1 ounce or 2 tablespoons of seeds. If possible, choose unsalted, unroasted versions for the best nutritional value. Here's a tip, especially useful for older adults: soak your nuts and seeds overnight. This makes them easier to digest and may even enhance nutrient absorption. In the grand picture of longevity, nuts and seeds are a tiny addition with a huge payoff. But while what we include in our diets is important, we also need to discuss what we might want to leave out. Next, we'll dive into the hidden dangers of added sugars and processed foods and why cutting back on them could be one of the most powerful things you can do for your health. Sugar and processed foods, the silent killers of healthy aging. We all have cravings now and then: a cookie with coffee, a slice of cake at a family party, a bag of chips during movie night. While a little treat here and there is perfectly okay, what many of us don't realize is just how much added sugar and processed foods have quietly crept into our daily diets, and how they're impacting our health as we age. Let's talk about sugar first. Too much added sugar can lead to blood sugar spikes and crashes, which stress your body and, over time, may contribute to insulin resistance, a key factor in type 2 diabetes. But that's not all. Excess sugar also accelerates the aging process through a process called glycation. This occurs when sugar molecules attach to proteins in your body, forming harmful compounds called AGEs, advanced glycation end products. These AGEs damage collagen in your skin, stiffen blood vessels, and are linked to inflammation and age-related diseases like dementia and arthritis. Then, there are processed foods: packaged snacks, frozen meals, deli meats, sugary drinks, and fast food. Many of these contain refined grains, unhealthy fats, sodium, and preservatives. They're often stripped of nutrients and designed to make us eat more without truly feeling satisfied. Over time, this type of eating can drain your energy, cloud your thinking, and increase your risk of heart disease, digestive issues, and weight gain, all of which chip away at your quality of life. But here's the good news: you don't have to be perfect, just be mindful. Start by reading labels and watching for added sugars, especially in foods you might not expect, like yogurt, salad dressings, or even healthy granola bars. Try swapping sugary drinks for infused water or herbal teas. Replace ultra-processed snacks with fresh fruit, a handful of nuts, or plain yogurt with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Most importantly, be easy on yourself. It's not about never indulging, it's about making better choices most of the time. As we've seen, what we remove from our diet can be just as important as what we add. But a long and vibrant life isn't just about what's on your plate, it's also about how you live, how you move, and how you connect with others. Next, let's look beyond food and explore the lifestyle habits that help people not just live longer, but live better every single day. The lifestyle beyond food. How movement, sleep, and social ties keep you young. As powerful as food is for longevity, it's only one piece of the puzzle. If you want to understand how people in blue zones and others who age gracefully stay healthy and full of life into their 90s and beyond, you have to look at how they live, not just how they eat. Let's start with movement. In long-living communities like Okinawa or Nicoya, you won't find many people lifting weights at the gym or doing intense workouts. What you will find is natural, gentle movement woven into daily life. Walking to the store, tending a garden, stretching in the morning sun. This low-impact, consistent activity keeps joints limber, muscles strong, and hearts healthy. It also supports better posture, balance, and independence, all of which are especially important as we age. Even a 20-minute walk after dinner can help digestion, regulate blood sugar, and clear your mind. Next, let's talk about sleep. Many people see sleep as optional, something we cut short to get more done, but quality sleep is essential for repairing the body, restoring the brain, and keeping the immune system strong. People who live long, vibrant lives tend to follow the rhythms of nature. They wake up with the sun, rest when tired, and avoid screens or stressful thoughts late at night. Think of sleep as your body's natural reset button. If you struggle with sleep, try calming habits before bed. Herbal tea, light stretching, soft music, or simply dimming the lights an hour before you turn in. And finally, let's talk about connection. Humans are wired to belong. In every blue zone, from Greece to Costa Rica, elders are deeply integrated into their communities. They live with family, gather regularly with friends, and find purpose through relationships. Having someone to laugh with, share a meal with, or simply check in on you matters more than most of us realize. Studies show that loneliness can increase the risk of early death just as much as smoking or obesity. So stay connected, whether it's a phone call with a grandchild, a walk with a neighbor, or joining a local group. Your heart, your brain, and your spirit will thank you. Here's the gentle truth. A long life isn't just about staying alive, it's about feeling alive. Few people understood that better than Dr. Shigaki Hinohara, Japan's most beloved longevity doctor. He lived to 105 and inspired generations with his simple yet powerful lifestyle. Let's close with his story and the lessons he left behind. Lessons from Dr. Shigaki Hinohara, the longevity doctor who lived to 105. In Japan, there's a saying, living long is not the goal, living well is. No one embodied this more than Dr. Shigaki Hinohara, one of Japan's most respected physicians and longevity experts, who lived a remarkably full life until age 105. Even in his later years, Dr. Hinohara continued to write books, give lectures, and inspire millions with his wisdom, energy, and sense of purpose. At age 101, he even flew to New York to deliver a speech himself. So, what was his secret? His approach to health was surprisingly gentle and straightforward. Every morning, he had a small breakfast: coffee, a glass of milk, orange juice, and a spoonful of olive oil, not for taste, but for heart health and skin vitality. He often skipped lunch or had just a few biscuits with milk. Dinner was light: vegetables, rice, and a little fish or lean meat. Twice a week, he allowed himself a small square of dark chocolate. But perhaps more important than what he ate was how he lived. Dr. Hinohara believed staying busy with meaningful work, maintaining a childlike sense of curiosity, and not worrying too much about rules were keys to a long life. He famously said, "If you want to live long, don't be overweight and don't tire yourself out trying to follow strict routines, just keep doing what makes you feel alive." His story reminds us of something important. Longevity isn't about chasing perfection. It's about pursuing joy, purpose, and connection, one small habit at a time. Whether it's a leafy green salad, a walk with a friend, or simply being grateful for the morning sun, every little choice adds up. And as Dr. Hinohara showed us, age is not something to fear, it's something to live fully. Now that we've explored 10 powerful ways to live longer and better, Let's conclude with a gentle summary and a final invitation to make this journey your own. 10 gentle, powerful shifts for a longer, better life. Let's take a quick moment to remember what we've covered, choosing whole, natural foods like leafy greens, whole grains, nuts, and fermented favorites. Embracing heart-healthy habits like using olive oil and cutting back on sugar and processed snacks. Moving your body, sleeping deeply, staying connected, and finding purpose in the little things. And of course, learning from the remarkable life of Dr. Hinohara, whose simple daily choices helped him reach 105 with joy and energy. You don't need to do it all at once. Start with one small step that spoke to you today. Maybe it's switching to brown rice or calling an old friend. Perhaps it's eating more greens or simply drinking more water. Health isn't a race, it's a rhythm. And every day you choose to care for your body and mind in a kind, nourishing way, you're investing in a future that feels lighter, brighter, and more alive. If this video brought you value, I'd love to know, what's one habit you're going to try this week? Let me know in the comments below, and if you think someone you care about could use this message, feel free to share it with them too. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a gentle nudge toward better health. Thank you so much for watching. Here's to living fully, joyfully, and with purpose at every age. We'll see you in the next video.